Removing hard gel takes certain skills. Greg Salo is going to take you through those steps, show you how to do it right now.
In this next part of the Young Nails e-file series, I'm going to be showing you the steps I take to remove hard gel with our electric file. I'm going to be taking you through detailed steps so that you have total success using your safety bit. All right, so what I want to do is I want to use my toenail clipper to get the excess off. But what I want to do first is I want to check underneath just to make sure that her hyponychium, right, her skin doesn't extend all the way to the edge. You can see that her natural nail has grown all the way out to this point right here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to clip it right at that edge, right, so that it gives me room to cut. All right, so right here at the edge, I'm going to line that up, and as soon as I snip it, you can see that it's going to break horizontally. The last thing you want to do is use one of these to try to break it. I find that if the blade is dull on an item like a tip cutter, you can actually end up splitting it vertically up the nail, which can actually crack the nail. So we don't want to do that. You want to be able to use a toenail clipper to get that off. Now, you have to remember that hard gel does not soak off. You have to be able to file it off. The best part about it is it's super easy to do. Super soft, super easy to fill, super easy to file. I'm going to show you the steps that you need to take so that you're going to be able to do it without touching the natural nail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put our Young Nails vent right here because when filing gel, it's going to create a lot of dust. All right, so I'm just going to make sure that my tip is just kind of even. Just kind of file this back. What I like to do is I'm going to put her in an overgrip position. So I'm going to try to get my client out to the side, and since she is left-handed, I'm going to have her just angle her wrist right here. This is going to give me the ability to kind of rest my hand on the unit so that I'm going to be able to file. I'm going to turn my electric file around 11,000 RPMs. And what I like to do is I'm just going to kind of file the surface top coat off first, right? Because stain resistant top coat is going to be really, really hard. And what this is going to allow me to do is just get all that shine off of the nail so that I can begin my filing. Now here's the thing. I need to be able to remove the bulk from this corner, right, all the way through here. So if I line my electric file at the base, the very bottom part of my bit, which is zone 3, and I start here, and I start pulling towards myself, I want to be able to file in one direction towards myself, right? And as I start to do that, notice that I'm working from zone 3 to zone 2 to zone 1, right? So I'm working this way, but I'm working quick, and I'm putting a lot of pressure as I'm moving through the nail. You can see how fast I'm actually able to reduce a lot of the thickness from the surface. As I start getting close, I want to start using a feathering technique, right? So that I'm not, again, I don't want to create a burning sensation on her nail. So what I'll start to do is I'll start to kind of flick it as I start to get closer. It's kind of the same motion I'm using when I'm doing preparation, right? I start to flick it, I start to flick it. You can actually start to see a little bit of the free edge start to appear. I can put a little bit more pressure on the tip, right? So you can see the natural nail start to appear, but the majority of the product, as you can see, has already been taken down. So you might be thinking, well, why would I need to take it all the way down to the natural nail, right? If they're changing out designs on a regular basis, sometimes it's necessary to get most of the color completely off. So if you have color at the tip, that's one thing. If you have color on the nail like here, you're gonna have to try to remove it so that, because they might be that customer who wants to go from color to a French nail from 1 month to another. So let's go through the whole entire process one more time. If I am removing color from the surface, as you can see, what I want to be able to do, right, I remove that top, and then what I'll do is I'll work from the corner, and notice how I'm actually pulling in one direction all the way through to zone 1. Zone 3, zone 2, zone 1. Zone 3, zone 2, zone 1. And a lot of the bulk is starting to come down. I'm not keeping my electric file in one spot. I think the biggest mistake that a lot of beginners make is they keep the electric file in one spot, which is going to create a lot of heat. We don't want to do that. I want to constantly be moving, right, with a very, very kind of light to medium pressure, right? And then as I start getting thin, you can see the natural nail is right there. I'm going to actually start using a feathering technique to try to get most of the color away, right? And then as it gets close, you can see that all I'm doing is using a feathering technique to get all the color off of the surface. Boom, right? So here on the corner, right, there's two things you can do. I can turn her hand to the side and I can just barely touch it with the nose of the barrel, or I could reduce the speed of the electric file to about 5,000 RPMs. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the very bottom, this part right here, and I'm just gonna lightly graze towards myself. Just barely touch it, just to try to get that color off of the surface. If there is any color around the edges right here, you're going to be able to use your arbor band or your diamond bit to clean it and prep it for reapplication. Remember, if you use the techniques that I show you, work through your zones, learn to feather the product off of the nail as it gets thin, your electric file is going to be your best friend.
We've got endless amounts of videos, so do not stop now. Click, watch, keep that going, and don't forget to give us one of these.